Hello, hello. Welcome back to Let's Talk Entertainment News. I hope everyone has had a great weekend so far. It is Sunday morning as I record. My weekend hasn't been that great, but that doesn't change the fact that I hope that you had a good time. All right, so this morning, very quickly, we're going to talk about A Quiet Place Part 3. I did a story on this a few months back, and it seemed like things weren't looking good. It didn't seem like all the parties involved had the time to get this done, but apparently I was wrong. It looks like it is closer than you think. So we're going to talk about that in just a moment. We got a title, a date, and a director. But before we get there, just a few things for you to do. We are in the process of rebuilding our watch time hours around here, so we need you to keep watching. And also, if you do choose to join us in the comment section below, as more and more of you have been doing recently, all that we ask is that you be kind. It is a mean, nasty world, and there's no reason why we need to be mean and nasty to each other here. Let's be a shining beacon of friendliness. All right, then. Yes. A Quiet Place 3 gets title, director, and release date. This comes from comingsoon.net. A Quiet Place 3 has officially set its release date. Excuse me. And found a director very close to the franchise for the next entry in the horror series. A Quiet Place 3, which will officially be titled A Quiet Place Part 3, will release in theaters on July 9th, 2027, so just a couple years away. According to Paramount, in the news that will make fans of the series happy, and actually I'm surprised Paramount's doing anything at this point. It seems like with all the merger nonsense, that maybe they think there would have further delays for a lot of projects, but John Krasinski, who wrote, directed, and starred in the first two films, will return to write and direct the third entry. And I thought, if anything, they do a third film without him. That seems to happen a lot of times with trilogies. You know, his career sort of exploded. And the word on the street with the previous news story about this film was that they were having a hard time wrangling him to get him to do it because, you know, his career had exploded and he was so much busier with other projects. Krasinski announced the news via a new post on Instagram showing off the teaser logo for the film as well as its date. There it is. It's pretty simple. It's a bit of a nothing burger there. But moving on, currently no casting information is available for A Quiet Place Part 3. The first film was led by Krasinski and his wife Emily Blunt, as well as Millicent Simmons and Noah Jupe, who played the children. Blunt, Simmons, and Jupe all starred in the second film as well. And at this point, I actually don't remember who survived. He's dead, right? After debuting in 2018, A Quiet Place franchise has become a bona fide horror staple. A sequel was released in 2020, and a spin-off film, A Quiet Place Day One. And I quite liked A Quiet Place Day One, despite the fact that, you know, the first film, you know, having this whole angle about hearing the cat is sort of out of the bag. It's sort of risky business to go back and show anything beforehand, but Lupita was, you know, playing a very likable, relatable, struggling character, so I think it worked on the back of her sort of nuanced, subtle performance. Day One starred Lupita Nyong'o, Joseph Quinn, and Jimon Housan, and was written and directed by Michael Sarnowski. The entire A Quiet Place franchise has been a box office darling, grossing more than $900 million globally across all three films, and that's the real reason why we're getting a third one for sure. All three films revolve around a world in which alien monsters have landed on Earth and react to anything that makes noise, forcing humans to stay quiet. And I sort of fully expect that the third film would wrap up the story more or less. It won't be the last film for sure, but I think probably mark the end of the involvement of Krasinski as anything but a producer, I would think. I did open a poll this morning in the post section, in the community section of the channel, sort of ask people what they think about this. Are they still excited about the franchise, or has it sort of run its course for them? That poll will be up for the next day or two, so be sure to check that out if you find this video when it is still new. But I think that it is fitting that the franchise get a capper, but I don't necessarily need any more beyond that. Though perhaps I think sort of rebooting it maybe as a streaming series might work. I think that it'd be interesting to sort of explore the mythology in that way, even if it's sort of a remake more than a reboot. You know, bring in new actors to play old characters and sort of show their journey over a longer period of time in those early years, as opposed to just having the sort of abbreviated runtime of a film where it sort of crams in everything, sort of meets them in the middle with the action already in progress. I think it could be fun to explore the world over a couple of seasons of a show like that. But what do you think? Let us know in the comment section below. But until next time, keep it creepy.